Wheelchair Basketball South Africa is very honoured to have the national coach of the USA wheelchair basketball team here, and I caught up with Trooper Johnson to find out just exactly what he was doing in South Africa and how long he's going to be here and what the plans are. Trooper clearly is not your real name, it's Lawrence Johnson,
exactly.
But tell us the connotation to Trooper.
It's a nickname I was born with. My father was in the military and I had 4 older sisters, and I was a total accident kid. I wasn't supposed to happen, so my father just named me Trooper when I was born.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Trooper, welcome to South Africa. As I said, you are the coach of the United States side. It's a huge privilege to have you in South Africa. What are you actually doing here? What's the mission?
Well, I think we're doing coaching clinics throughout South Africa right now to help develop the coaching modules that are being used by the coaches here in kind of an effort to help them to develop the sport throughout the country. I think it's a big honor to be asked to come down here right now and to work with the host of South Africa and to help out. But I think really looking at the clinic this morning, it was fantastic to see the coaches that were in there, the questions that they asked, and just the passion for the sport that they have.
Now, the USA have always been right at the top of wheelchair basketball, as indeed able-bodied basketball. I think you might have got pipped in the World Champs, but we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
No, we certainly won't. Just looking at you've not been in the country for very long, but having a look, how would you rate the standard of the game in South Africa?
Well, I think the standard is great. I mean, I think the potential exists, which is amazing, because you not only just have the number of players that are out here, but in the outlying communities and the way that, from what I'm understanding, the way the sport is being generated around the country and really being developed, it's really going to get a lot more players engaged in the sport. And as you're looking at these younger and younger athletes moving up and starting to play at a higher level, the game and the game's going to advance, it's going to develop more, and it's going to be a much better game as you move forward through time. So,
just very briefly, tell us about the funding model in the United States. The money that is money becoming more freely available for wheelchair basketball?
It is to some extent. It's just still not on the par with Europe and some of the other places that have their athletes being paid a huge amount. But I think that in the United States, athletes still aren't getting paid. The league is getting a little bit more funding to help support the promotion of the sport and to help get tournaments being run and to help the league run on its day-to-day basis. But as far as the athletes getting paid like they do in Europe and stuff, that still isn't happening.